Welcome. It's the Matic. It's the illest blurred in the land.
Alright guys, welcome back, Legends community. Today I'm back with the actual video game review, my honest review on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I've been hearing about this game since last year on social media. I eventually picked it up. Originally it was going to be a gift that I just treated myself to. Saved it as a Christmas gift from last year. And today we are actually reviewing the Ultimate Edition. So the pros we're going to talk about, and then we're going to talk about the cons of the game. So the pros of the game is, first off, I love the setup. Meaning once you start the game, you get a chance to actually figure out how to use the control when it comes to playing this fighting game. And I got to give it to Namco. Props to Namco for doing that. Because we all play fighting games differently nowadays, that maybe they consider the ideas like, you know what? Maybe they don't use the triggers to do this particular move or whatever it is. And they actually made the initiative to say, hey, you can change the controller to how you feel that you play the game. And meaning that you can change the button settings for the actual move sets. And I think that's a really great way to go about it. It's like, you know what? Namco was considerate. They was thoughtful about this. And I said, yo, this is great. Even though I did not change the settings for the controller, for my Xbox controller, I didn't do it. But I'm sure there are people that probably didn't like the controller setting. They probably thought it was funky, didn't like the idea of it. It's like, time for the change. Now, the next thing that I thought was a pro with this game was the tutorial. Learning how to block, learning how to use Kai Blast, learning how to fly around the stage, learning how to block, and also learning how to use a powerful move, and even powering up your character was needed. Because honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, got to keep it 100 or a buck with you guys. The fights start off pretty darn crazy, all right? In this game, pretty darn crazy. So if you don't really lock into learning the tutorial or changing the settings for the controller that's comfortable for you, you gonna have a hard time getting through this game. I'm just saying, all right? So that is something that you have to consider, because like I said, it starts off where you know, getting used to it and everything like that, but it gets harder down the line. Now, the next thing I want to get into that was a pro was the visuals. Oh, I love the visuals. The visuals were really looking good, really looked cel shaded. It seemed like Namco spent a lot of money on visuals. Like the cutscenes had the aesthetics of what you were looking for visual wise. Just the character models. I liked how Future Trunks looked. I liked how Majin Buu looked. I liked how Goku looked. I liked how actual Raditz looked. Just the character models looked really good. And I think they realized, like, if we're going to get people to play this game again, we got to bring nostalgic factor to this. The other thing that was a pro with this game, and I think it was like early, like Dragon Ball Z games. I know I'm taking it back because I'm an older guy, right? Or older blurred at that. It reminded me of Budokai and also Takenchi, excuse me if I'm saying it wrong. Pretty much because you could get moves. Like you could purchase moves and stuff with the capsules and stuff. And it had a nostalgia factor there because I grew up playing these games, right? And realizing that, hey, this is what I remember. You can go buy certain moves. You might be able to buy the Spirit Cannon or whatever particular move from the Z Fighters, particularly based on your character that you were using. Very nostalgic for Ilblurmatic. Very nostalgic for the Ilblurmatic. I'm just saying. The other thing was just the leveling up. Once you fight the characters within the story, the level up wasn't very bad. It wasn't like hard on you or anything like that. There were some that were hit or miss. And then the thing was either you could retry and go back and fight and stuff like that, or you could choose another character if you unlock characters too, by the way. So that was the pros. Now let's get into the cons. Oh my God. So the cons with this is pretty much this game was not very long. Even though I have the Ultimate Edition, it took me about, I would say, 2 days. 2 days max. You know what? 3 days. It took me 3 days to beat this game. Did it get challenging? Yes. Challenging towards the very end where you fight Jiren, fight these other characters from the Tournament of Power arc, and even Future Trunks arc as well. It did get challenging towards the end, but I felt like what was lacking from that is that we never saw Gohan fight Cell unless you picked that character. That was the thing that I didn't really like. I was like, ugh. You had to choose that character and everything, which is fine, but you didn't have those iconic moments like where Goku and Piccolo fought Raditz, you know what I'm saying? Goku helping Gohan use the father-son Kamehameha. I felt like certain things should have been included with this game. I'm like, Namco, you got me. So maybe if they would have added a little bit more where you play with other characters, like you do. I will say this. When I played with Goku and then played with Future Trunks within his timeline arc, that worked. I just didn't know that you could change the character. And then that was confusing to me. I was like, I could have changed to him. I'm confused, yo. I'm confused. The other thing about this game is the movesets. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed that they did bring back the capsules where you're able to purchase them based on the money that you fought the villains for the actual game and stuff like that. But I felt like the moveset was limited. Did anybody else feel that way that played this game, Sparking Zero? I was like, man, they could have had a variety of stuff. And I was like, ugh, why y'all do this to me, man? Why y'all do this to me? And that was something that I kind of was like, I don't like this. I don't like the idea that we don't have a nice move set where you can kind of just be like, all right, well, I want to do this like a Budokai game. You know what I'm saying? So not to compare, but I'm just saying I would have loved this scene more movesets with Goku, more movesets with Vegeta, you know what I'm saying? Future Trunks, whatever character you're playing with, versus us having to heavily rely on the capsules. That was my only problem. I'm like, dang, I like the capsule idea, but do we really, have to go through this again? So that was the thing. Okay, so the game I had the DLCs. All right, so I had the Ultimate Edition. It was alright. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, honestly, and this is probably why Namco announced a while back, I think it was last year, if I'm correct, that they announced that they're going to add additional DLCs. Because I felt this game wasn't long enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they could have explored other things to make the story a little bit more interesting. Now you guys are adding DLCs from the movies, which I'm totally not against. And also Dragon Ball Diamond that's out on Crunchyroll. But I definitely would have loved to have seen this game to be fleshed out a bit longer. But that's okay. The other thing is too, you couldn't really swap characters like that, if you get what I'm saying. Like, you know, you had to play, if you unlock Piccolo, you could play Piccolo's story, Future Trunks story, you know what I'm saying, Gohan. So you had to unlock the fighters. So it's kind of like, not completely like that, But it was weird to me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, it'd have been nice to see where we swap out a character for a particular part of the story arc that I'm familiar with Dragon Ball Z. But let's get into my gaming review on this. I'm gonna give Dragon Ball Sparking Zero pretty much actually a 8.5 out of 5. It could have been better. I'm really hoping that they expand with Dragon Ball Daima, since that is the current series that they have out. And hopefully that the story DLCs are worth it. But $100, not quite. But if you're someone that's nostalgic like I am, that's a Dragon Ball Z head, go ahead. But it's a blur. Live on the word, guys. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing. Also, hit that bell to stay notified when I drop the latest content, guys. And I'm out, legends.